before we even get into it, before I even start saying anything of value, I wrote this script over 3 months ago. This was supposed to be posted, like, in January this year. And tell me why within that time, Bubs posted a video that is scarily similar to the way that I structured, spoke, and talked about the idea of character design. And honestly, I felt no need to make this video at all because they covered it and covered it so well. So I wasn't going to make this video, but I'm going to make the video because I did include other ideas and topics that I wanted to share. We even linked and talked about the same character design video and shared that. It's really funny. I literally wrote this script and I was like, blah, 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 la, la, la. Character design good, character design bad. And then I was like, okay, cool. We're chilling. We're good. I did it. I'm fire. I'm so amazing. This is a whole new perspective. Ain't nobody heard before. But as I was saying, I will be posting the video. And if you're seeing it, I posted the video. So, we're gonna dive into it now, but if you want to go watch Bub's video over mine, I literally have no beef with that. I don't care if I have two views on this video. That is perfectly fine because they covered it in such a way that was so similar to the way that I covered it that I could understand where they were coming from. And I was like, oh, I'm watching this video and I'm like, oh, let me look back at my script. My script, bro, I feel like a copycat, but I guess we're just on the same wavelength when it comes to character design, so that's cool. I like knowing that other people share my same perspective. Literally, you're about to see. If you've seen Bub's character design video and you clicked on this thinking it was going to be different, I'm sorry, it's literally not. We're probably going to have the exact same talking points. Alrighty, so draw with me for this one, because today we're going to be talking about something that will either save you from years of frustration, or cost you years if you ignore it. Character design is not about making the coolest outfit, not about adding the most details, not about even making your character unique enough. It's about intention. Today we're talking about character design fundamentals, beginner misconceptions, and when to bend the rules, or break them at times, and how to design characters that please both you and your future audience. You heard it here, folks. There are fundamentals that you've probably heard of, or you probably have not. And if you haven't heard these fundamentals before, and this is your first character design video, oh my gosh, I'm genuinely very much honored. But yeah, welcome to Character Design 101. I am your teacher, Mocha. So if this is your first time in my class, let's begin with the lesson. Character design fundamentals usually include silhouette readability, shape language, value contrast, color identity, and proportion consistency. And these matter because your characters should be recognized in shadow, at a distance, in a small thumbnail, in motion. If your character only reads when fully rendered, the design is doing too much and communicating too little. I believe I directly stole that line from BAM, the video I literally linked down below, so you can watch their even more comprehensive and more entertaining character design video. Right now, while I'm sketching, you can even notice that I'm blocking out shapes first, not details. Always shapes first. Details are earned later. Beginners often start off with buttons, buckles, laces, patterns, accessories, but veterans, or pros if you will, start off with shape, pose, mass, and flow. Details decorate, shapes communicate. A video I actually recommend highly to anyone getting into character design for the first time is the one by BAM Studios. These guys were all I watched in preparation to taking my animation and comic making journey more seriously, and they helped me create characters that tell a story and feel almost nostalgic in a way. Here is a set of beginner misconceptions, and we'll talk about the biggest one first, and this one is definitely a trap. Misconception number 1. More details equals better design. No, nope, nada, zilch, zero. Do not fall into this philosophy. You will hate yourself later. You want to know what more details equal? More details equal more drawing labor, more inconsistency risk, more burnout, more redraw frustration. Detail should serve identity, not replace it. Misconception number 2. Complexity equals originality. You can make a simple character feel original through attitude, gesture, story context, contrast, voice. Originality is not measured in zipper counts. And misconception number 3, which is a pretty broad concept, but able to be drawn into a single thought, is cool versus clear, or better explained, my character look nice, must be coherent. If I can't tell you who your character is at a glance, then they're fighting the design itself. Clarity beats cool every time. If you want to make a cool and clarified character, focus on specific things like personality traits, a single item, or maybe a single design element, like a leather jacket or whatever. I don't know, leather jacket might be overused, but if a character's wearing a leather jacket or like a denim jacket, I'm obviously assuming that that's the guy that wants to flip his hair a little bit when he shows up in front of the hot ladies. He's like, hey there, baby girl, my name is Dean Winchester. Okay, that was enough. Now that we're out of the lane of misconceptions, let's talk about some helpful tips. Personality and design go hand in hand. Your character's character should come first. Before outfit, before color, before hair, ask yourself these questions. What kind of person are they? How do they move? What do they hide? What do they want people to believe or think about them? And what are they compensating for? Because clothing and style are behavioral choices. Design is psychology made visible. Let me give you a personal and grounded example. Demi, my protagonist, wears a necklace his mother gave him a very, very long time ago, and he's definitely grown out of it visually. It's sentimental, and it means a lot to him. It's soft and almost childish in a way. But the rest of his clothing leans more grungy and heavy. Why? Because he learned that people avoid that aesthetic, and as an introvert who still deeply craves connection, that gives him the social control. He gets to choose when he interacts with others, and how this happens instead of being randomly approached. That might seem like a bit of a stretch being said out loud, but if you go out into the real world and see someone wearing a suit, you assume they are important. You see a guy dressed in grunge, you assume he listens to metal or is a part of a specific aesthetic group. It's all about perception, because people still judge books by their covers. I will continue to say this because it happens on a daily basis. Demi is a metalhead, he does listen to metal, but he's also not defined solely by that aesthetic, and that's kind of the point of why I put him in those clothes, because he knows how people operate. He knows that people judge books by their cover. It's character psychology expressed through wardrobe. Not random drip, but intentional signaling. He also just do be drippy though. Look at this man. Look at the fit. Look at the shoes. Look at them details that I'm going to hate drawing over and over again. But I am a sucker for details, so I'm gonna just leave them there. Or maybe I might actually redesign him. Look at the details. Look at the drip. Look at the shoes. Here's a rule of thumb for people who are just starting to take their character design seriously as a way of showing other people their characters to get critique. Functionality over flash, especially in 2D comics and animation. If you are looking to get into anything that is a 2D medium, put the sucker in a t-shirt and some pants and call it a day. Like, please spare yourself the pain. But seriously though, because you are going to have to redraw this character hundreds, maybe thousands of times, every extra strap is a tax. Every pattern is a tax. Every tiny symbol is a tax. Now, there is an exception to this, and it's probably a very obvious one if you're designing for 3D animation, game art, cinematic pipelines, pre-built models. Detail cost is much lower after modeling. Arcane can afford the complexity. Spider-Verse could even afford the complexity if they wanted to. God of War can afford the complexity. Genshin Impact can afford the complexity. Your weekly comic page probably cannot, unless you are dedicated to having that stunning, beautiful character that's just decked out in all kinds of jewelry and drip. Do not put yourself through the pain. And if you do, I am praying for you, my friend. Now, because I typically give my own little 2 cents or bit of advice, I have my own personal signature method. Probably isn't all that original, but in a combination, it does feel very trademark to me. Here's my personal grounding rule, especially because I love detailed designs and myself drawing detailed characters. I call it the 3-for-all rule. Now, for this method, you're going to give your character 3 major design elements that each do a specific job. One of them should affect silhouette, the other express personality, and the final create visual intrigue. Here are some examples: a signature coat, a unique hair mask, symbolic accessory, weapon of some kind, posture, the way that your character stands, sits, or is posed in their character sheet. These 3 anchors in some way will affect the silhouette, and you can use them and pose them however you like. This keeps you from turning your character into a detail salad, and everything else should support, not compete. Now, once you understand the rules, you are allowed to bend them and eventually break them, but with finesse. You can design the crazy princess magical fairy, the hyper-ornamental villain, and ornate celestial beings if the tone of the story supports it, if the medium supports it, if you support it with principle and discipline. Rule breaking only works when it's intentional, not accidental overload. Messy on purpose is not the same as messy by accident. When it comes to rule breaking and bending, my prime personal example of this is my character Lucien Hartwell, Demetrius's father. This character is my example of detail with intention. I know drawing him is going to be a pain every 5 chapters, but that pain will come with reward because every part of his drip is intentional. So, a little bit of backstory, a little bit of character information. He's a war hero, awarded many an accolade, and a few of those he wears to display his combat superiority because he's proud of it. Very much proud of his accomplishments. He embellishes himself this way because, though he's already a physically imposing man, he wants his presence to read with legacy, not damnation. His sister Freya dresses him because, in all honesty, he would prefer to be naked at all times, much like his son, but he is a man who has taken eons to rewrite his past, and an image change is one he chooses to stand by daily. The details allude to his character, and in knowing him, the design intention is revealed more and more. He doesn't wear bones and skulls, he wears kudos, you did a good job protecting your people. After years of slaughtering others, his image can be changed in a way of him showing compassion towards others. So instead of walking around angry and bloody, he took the time to learn to walk with pride and acceptance of his past. Now, here's the truth about being a beginner character designer that no one really tells you. You are not designing just for yourself. You are not designing just for your audience. You are designing for the overlap. And that might seem like common sense until you actually start designing the character and you're thinking more about, I like this. I like the way this look. And then you go post it somewhere and everyone's like, I hate this. I hate the way this looks. And you can't understand why that affects you so badly, but you can understand where they're coming from. Or you can't understand where they're coming from. That's because character designing is such a personal process when you're doing it alone, which is why many shows and movies and everything, they'll design characters together in a group or leave a specific character design to a specific person who would do it best. Most characters go through so many different renditions and phases and through different artists' hands before you get the final product. If you're designing a character based on only the things you like, you're not hitting a lot of the target points between you and your audience. Make what you love, but communicate clearly enough that others can love it too. It's not about making the most original character ever. It's about making the right character for your story, and that takes trial, error, redesign, failure, more iterations. Some of your failed designs will become your best characters later. No time used to design a character is wasted time. Okay, so this one is pretty obvious, but not something we actively do as creatives, something we do subconsciously. So try and make this an active practice. Study designs of characters that you like actively with intention. So that includes pausing shows, screenshotting silhouettes, analyzing shapes, and ask why it works. Don't think, I like this character, but maybe try thinking, why does this design communicate so well? Reverse engineering greatness, and it works like a charm when you start doing it actively and understanding the basics of character design. That's how your design instincts level up over time. You become intentional about character design, not just through vibe or feeling, but breaking it down almost like a science. Which it technically is, it's psychology, but you don't need that tidbit of information. we have reached the end of this video, my friends. And if you take nothing else from this video, please take this tidbit of information. Character design is not decoration, it's communication. Designing with intention and drawing with purpose and letting personality lead over aesthetics can sometimes, if not all the time, lead to a better design. But if you are more of a vibe designer, if you feel the energy of something and then you're like, I'm going to replicate that, let it be your own version of science, if you will. Build up your own formula and keep track of the way you design characters so you don't lose that quote-unquote feeling. And if you're designing a character right now, drawing along to this video, keep going. Ugly sketches are a part of the pipeline. And remember, silhouette, baby. Silhouette. I can't tell you enough silhouette. Even as someone who prefers more human-leaning characters, you can put a lot into silhouette that isn't just their physical form. As I said, hair, weapons, the way that they're posing really helps with silhouette. Sonic has like 18 billion different poses. Each one of them eats. But you know it's Sonic over Shadow because there's personality in the way that he stands, leaps, puts his twos up, puts up his W's like he's gangbanging. You just have to be aware of your character's personality, and that will bleed out into the way that they're designed. So, Space Cadets, that is it for today. I hope that you learned something, and if you didn't, you were reminded of something or inspired by this video to start considering maybe taking character design into more of like, I wouldn't say professional, but like if you just design characters that you like, keep doing that. I'm not here to shame you for that at all, but if you want to have your characters communicate through your story, it's very, very beneficial to you as a creative to study what people know to be true about character design. And I was just in this video reiterating a lot of that. So if you learned anything from this, if you got some new information from this, I'm very happy and honored to be the person that shared that with you. And if you're drawing along, again, as I said, keep drawing, keep being creative, and have a blessed rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one, Space Cadets.